Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome that weird guy in the corner over there. My name is InfernoMaster64, otherwise known as Inferno, or Will. Take your pick at which one you want to call me, I'm okay with any of them. And this video is a bit special one. As you know, a couple of months ago, Total Pokemon Paradise has finally ended its 2-year-long run. Yes, I'm gonna let you sit on the fact that that took 2 years to make and was only 15 episodes. I blame life. Anyway, now I want to make a special video that I've been meaning to plan since I ended the video. Or series. Problem was, I just had to finish through school, exams, and the crippling mess known as English classes in America. You know what I'm dealing with. Anyway, so what is this video? This video is basically a supplementary video. And it's going to basically be me just talking about my time with Total Pokemon Paradise, kind of giving you all information behind the scenes and how my gigantic mess of a mind somehow made that improvement of a series. So let's have fun with this. And make fun of ourselves, because you know you want to. I know I will. Alright, so let's start. I think I want to start this video off by just talking about how Paradise began. First off, it was never even called Total Pokemon Paradise. It was probably going to be another Total Pokemon Island somewhere in the sea. Yeah, I wouldn't have been happy with that either. But Total Pokemon Paradise, I don't want to go into details about certain parts of my personal life, but if you knew me and what my situation was between 2014 and early 2016, then you kind of get the gist of where this time frame ends up. I think this stuff was made in 2015, unless it was made in 2006, the later part of 2014, but I could be wrong. Anyway, what happened was I just got bored one day. Yeah, that's really it. I just got bored. And I really still like making TPIs and everything because I haven't lost the passion yet. So I decided to just take one of my notebooks that I had for a class I hadn't, and I just decided to write down a TPI for it. No big deal. I thought, hey, why not? There were actually 2 drafts to it. The first draft was kind of horrendous, and I may or may not have ripped those pages out of the notebook by now. I can't find them. I threw them away. But the second draft, basically the shorter draft, or the draft that we know as Paradise now, is the draft I kept. With one exception, originally Ninetales wasn't a Zangoose. Don't ask me why, just know it happened. And from there, I just made an elimination order, made some stereotypes for the characters, which I have nearby me, so when we talk about the characters, oh boy, that's gonna be a hoot. And I just made an elimination order for it and the team. That's about it. Otherwise, it was very bare basics with no real plans going into it. And then, come 2016, after the summer, I just wanted to make this. So, I sat up, got to work, got back into my groove, and made the first episode of Paradise, and then the next few. I was originally going to go off my notebook elimination order, but no, I stopped that mess after Pikachu was eliminated, because god, that order is kind of a mess when you see how everything was going at that point. Should have been Chimchar next. No. And yeah, at that point, it was just me just having fun, you know, entertaining the people and stuff. I made this show because I wanted to. I thought it'd be really cool and everything. Plus, entertaining people and making people laugh and stuff, that's kind of a big thing of mine. If you're a goofball like me, you sort of just like making people laugh, whether it's by your own stupidity or incompetence, or just by something you make for people to watch. Well, I told you we were going to be making fun of ourselves here, people. Keep up. Now, let's talk about some pre-production changes. Things that happened when I first made the notebook and stuff, and that didn't actually go over to the original Paradise series. First was, like I said a moment ago, Ninetales was originally a Zangoose. Why? I have no idea. No, wait, it's because I like Zangoose. But that didn't stand. But she eventually turned back into a Ninetales because I just wanted to change it. Let's think. What other things did I change? In the first draft, you know, the one I scrapped and threw the paper out, there were 4 more contestants to that. I can't remember all who was in it. I know there was a Gothitelle, though. But that's literally the only thing I can remember about it. So, if you want information about that, I'm sorry, I threw those pages away 3 years ago. Is there anything else that changed? Oh yeah, like I said, this was not originally a Total Pokemon Paradise series. This was just probably going to be on an island. But I changed that because I was thinking about a way for the concept, because I didn't really write the concept down, so I just had fun with it. Also, I don't know, actually, anyone who was not a contestant, they did not stick in the pre-production. Because the original host was a Deoxys. Yeah, I know, Deoxys again. Gosh, I'm just retreading old grounds. But no, I changed it because no, that would have been too easy. Let's have some fun with this. So I made Thundurus the host, Audino those strange nurse, and then Tornadus later because I needed more to do with a host stuff. So yeah. And speaking of my host and nurse, I guess that can be the next thing I talk about. Alright, so I think the first thing I should talk about is Thundurus. Thundurus just had more going on to him when I first made the series, but that kind of just dropped off as I was going on because I'm a fool. Thundurus was supposed to be kind of a guy, supposed to be kind of this kind of person who acted all mean and tough, but really was not that bad of a person on deep down, and that's something that's kind of did stick in the early episodes, but then it just dropped to where he's probably the most sane person in the entire cast at that point. He never really wants any of the kids to be majorly hurt or anything. That's why he actually took the time to, hire a nurse. Granted, a nurse that probably does illegal things with medical equipment, but still a nurse none the same. And he just wanted to make sure everything was fine, everything was great, and there were no problems, no one was about to die or be murdered, like a lot of hosts seem to almost let up on for some reason. I'm looking at you, Chris McClain. You know what you've done. So yeah, that's all that Thundurus was meant to be. Not much of a big character. He actually just came out more of a slight stick in the mud, normal, boring kind of person, and that's kind of how I'm going to go with him for in the future of life. Then there's Nurse Audino. Here's the weird thing. Her voice changes like every time I play her, and I don't have a consistent voice for her. I don't care though. It's too funny not to mess up. Nurse Audino was a fun case. Originally she was just a plain old nurse that Thundurus hired because, hey, a better host to actually hire a nurse. And actually a decently good one at that. But eventually, throughout her various appearances, she ended up just having a really fun character where she's doing some illegal stuff under the hood, but she doesn't want to admit it at the same time, and it's just kind of funny with how weird she acts when it comes to her patients. Especially Duat. Duat entered there so many times, I'm pretty sure she just gave him supplements that make him immune to pain, I swear. But yeah, Nurse Audino was probably one of my favorite characters to go for, and I'm glad I got to keep using her as the season went on. Benefits of having Duat last so long. He just kinda had to be forced to go to the infirmary. I swear that wasn't an excuse to make him last so long if that just happened. And then there's Tornadus, probably the better of the two hosts if I had to give my own opinion, or people's fan opinions for that matter. Tornadus is clearly a jerk. Like, full on, no, do not hang out with this person, he will murder you. I mean, he already made his brother psychotic and almost hurt everyone in the cast for drama. He loves drama, and he'll gladly get a bowl of popcorn to go with it. And he wants to see fun things to happen for the ratings, since he's there anyway. He was never originally in the cast for the show, not even in the first draft, because I made 17 PowerPoints for the show, that I scrapped most of them by episode 7 or 6. Tornadus was never in any of those... No, wait, no, he was. That's right. No, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. He was in those, but I don't think his role was as important, or he was just kind of there. He didn't have much to do compared to what he did now. Like, he's a good co-host. He's just there when he needs to be there. He does what he needs to do, and then he just moves on with life. I like him, and his voice is kind of great, and he's one of the few characters I use Audacity for. Alright, so now that we talked about the host, let's get to the laundry list of contestants. Dear God, we're gonna be here for a while, people. Oh well, this will be fun. I like most of these contestants, and some I despise. Let's get to them. Alright, now it's time for characters. Let's start off with Captain. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see a character's name, label, 2015 placement, aka the placement that's in my work notebook, the original working placement, aka I have PowerPoint for the 17 episodes. Those are these, but those PowerPoints were never used past episode 6, I believe. Let me think. Yeah, 6. And the original, and the official placements, aka what aired on YouTube. It's not changed past that point. As you could see, he was the first eliminated in the original placements, but he actually made merge in the later placements. I will talk about this later as I go through the merge and pre-merge, because I got a lot to say about my pre-merge and merge. But point was, he returned in the original 2 placements, got 6 at one point, but then actually made a final 2 another point. It says first/second for him, but he probably would have got second because he returned, and I'm not about that life. So yeah, Cacturn is a bossy guy. He's very competitive, and, do anything to win. Aside from cheat, he has morals. But at the same time, he's not a good person either. He pushed Duat out of a plane, and who almost kinda got eaten by Sharpedo. and rumbled with Ninetales to get a fire tip out of the plane. I don't know why that was a good idea to him. And then it got eliminated for it. Also, if you thought Ninetales was going home with that elimination, good for you. The point was I wanted to have two people who could have gone home, but I knew which one was going home. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just trolling you. We'll never know. Point is, Cacturn had a low shelf life. In the original runs where he was going to return, in the Notebook version, I don't know if he had any character development or he was just going to stay the same and just had a moment where everyone realized he's still in the game and they eliminate him. But in the working placement, he ended up actually having some massive character development. Okay, not massive, but sufficient enough. He became a nicer person through it. Made friends with Darkrai of all people. We'll get to that later. And yeah. Now, of course, I scrapped all that mess. He stayed the same as he was when he got eliminated, as you could see in the episodes where he still appears. But that's okay. Cacturn does his own thing. And some of that development might stick around for the future, but we'll see. Hoppip, everyone's favorite ditz, and the one people will not stop bugging me about because I eliminated her in episode 2. I'm sorry, people. It just had to happen. Okay, no, it didn't. She could have lasted way longer. But point is, Hoppip is your F-lovable ditz, who, as you can see from the bottom, stay pretty consistent with her eliminations. The only reason she has 15th now is because Cacturn never returned. Otherwise, she would have all 16s across the board. No, this doesn't happen to anybody, by the way. No one keeps all 3 placements the same. 2 placements stayed the same for a lot of people, but not 3, sadly. I tried. No, I couldn't. Anyway, Hoppip was just kind of a basic ditzy character who was kind of fun-loving, very adventurous, if you can remember her audition tape where she liked adventure. Yeah, that still kind of sticks to this day, but it isn't widely stated, and just likes to have fun. As you can see, she's the only person who actually Cacturn likes, because he was stuck with her for so long, she just started to grow on him, and eventually they became good friends, although she's not above using Sleep Powder on him. Also, yes, I know Sleep Powder doesn't work on grass types. I don't care. Simple as that. But yeah, she's honestly one of my favorites to act and voice. But unfortunately, she went in second place. She left in this episode 2 only because that's what the Notebook said. You'll see that same thing happening within the first 6 eliminations. Past that, the Notebook just starts burning the fire and it stops mattering. But yeah, if I could have made her last longer, I would have. And she's a great character no matter what you say. Now, will you please stop complaining that I voted her off second, guys? Please, let me have peace. Hey, look, it's Miss Useless. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I mean Flipbebe. Yes, Flipbebe. One of the 2 characters who somehow kept their placement from the Notebook. No, I'm not joking. That actually happened to 2 people. I didn't even know it happened to Flipbebe until an hour ago at the time I'm recording this. Anyway, Flipbebe was... yeah, she was freaking useless. I'm not even gonna mince words. I don't know what I was trying to do with her. Like, here's the thing though, she lasted 1 extra eliminate episode in the working placements for some reason. Wait, no, is that working placements? Oh no, my mistake. Sorry, that's the Notebook version. I don't know why she lasted another episode. I'm glad that me from 2 years ago knew it was smart to cut her off earlier. But she should have been first boot, honestly. She could have been a good first boot or a second boot, either or. Because Cacturn was still a good first boot. But, yeah, really, she was kind of useless until the episode when she got eliminated, where she got actually good screen time. And then got voted off, because Darkrai. Again, we'll get to Darkrai and his characterization much later. I'm not sad to see her go, but I really wish there was more I could have done with her. Instead, she's just a nature lover, and that's all you really know about her. Like, you know more about Hoppip. And that's just because Hoppip's weird. And you like Hoppip. But you don't like Flipbebe. She should have lasted... Flipbebe should have gone first or second, because again, her team won episode 1, so she could have stayed an extra episode. But yeah, this is one of the regrets I have with the show, that Flipbebe lasted as long as she did, and she had nothing to do. Sorry, Flipbebe, but I wish I gave you more to do. Jinx! The Pokemon that I legitimately cannot spell to save my life! I always think it's G-I-N-X, not G-Y-N-X. Also, if you're wondering why I got it right now, I made sure to double check before I moved on with my life. Yeah. You know, I never noticed before. She went from 15th to 14th to 13th. That's actually kind of funny. I think that's the only time that happens. Anyway, Jinx is Sneasel's BFF, and she's obviously the more girly of the BFFs, wearing a dress, caring about her looks, having long, flowing blonde hair. Girl, own it. But there wasn't too much to her outside of that. At least in the first 2 versions. Well, the first version, her elimination stays the same in the second and third, technically. But she actually became more of a kind of competitive girl as her time went on, thinking strategy, having an alliance, and also still caring about her boo because, you know, she loves Sneasel to death, and also because she knew Sneasel had a crush on Cofagrigus. Also, yes, those three lived in the same area. I don't know why I did that, but I did, and it made for a good plot. So, you know what? I don't know why I'm making this amendum. This was okay. Anyway, Jinx was just part there, part actually important to the plot, part I also started the plot by being eliminated. So she was really made for an early elimination. Though between her and Sneasel, she was kind of the better one to do in my opinion. Like, no offense to Sneasel, because I like Sneasel, but Jinx is kind of more fun to do. Although I couldn't really think of much to do with her outside of having Sneasel as her best friend. That's probably the only downside to why she got eliminated so quickly, even in the newer version. So, I like Jinx, but sorry, no. Bye-bye! Oh my gosh, it's Ninetales here for a new competition, yes! No, I'm not gonna keep that the entire segment. You guys want that happening? You gotta pay me some cold hard cash first. And some pizza. I like Greek. Anyway, fan favorite contestant, I cannot believe I'm saying that, Ninetales. Also, I don't like her that much, but she's kind of grown on me seeing how many people love her. I don't know. I don't get it. Why are you people weird? Ninetales is a character that first off was a Zangoose at one point in her life, but now is a Ninetales, and she's better about it. And also is a Valley Girl, who also is a gymnastic expert. I should probably point that out. It's not used much in the show whatsoever, but she's really good at it. You should pay attention to that fact. Ninetales was just Ninetales. She was her Valley Girl herself, saying that she wasn't a Valley Girl, but she was low-key a Valley Girl all the way through, and having a time of her life and trying to get herself a man. Although she never found her man, so what's the point? In the original cut, she actually returned along with Cacturn. Did I mention that? I probably didn't. Oh well, here it is now. And in the first cut, she made second place because I have no freaking clue how she made second place. I'll tell you who she went up against later, because you'll be shocked. And in the second cut, she got blindsided by Cacturn. Honestly, one of the best scenes I wrote. Final 7 in the original cut. Genius! But yeah, she didn't return. In the end, she never returned, so she got 12th. Her ego was struck with a sword. But in the end of the day, people still love her, and her later appearances in the show really reminded people why they love her. I don't get why she got so much love so fast, but I guess she's a fan favorite contestant, I guess. I don't know. If I did a fan favorite poll before the finale, I'm pretty sure she would have won the award. Either her or Darkrai, let's be real. But yeah, ultimately got eliminated because of Duat in that little kind of moment when he was the antagonist. We won't talk about that until we get there. So yeah, fan favorite turned didn't get second place or 7th place. Pikachu, aka the Manectric clone. No, I am not kidding you. Have you seen their voices? Pikachu was honestly... Okay, real talk, he grew on me after the show ended. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But Pikachu was not the worst contestant I ever made. Okay, yes, he was a ripoff of Manectric for the first few episodes, but near the end of his tenure, which we'll get to, he honestly kind of showed more of a side of being protective to Flaffy because she didn't want her to get hurt by any more of the guys she keeps dating. She possibly has a criminal record with the fact he keeps electrocuting people into the hospital, and also the fact that he's just kind of a fun and chill guy who makes friends, but if you don't like, he doesn't like you, he will shock you until you faint. Great guy all around. I'm sure any girl will love him. Although he is kind of uncontrollable with his electricity. Rip. His downfall episode in episode 6 is admittedly my worst episode and my least favorite elimination. Although I will say this right now, because I realized this a month ago. I could have eliminated him normally. I could have just had his team lose because he shocked the pool, like Duat or someone from the other team just bring up the Mystic Water, his team loses, they vote him off, bang bang boom, we have a normal elimination that would have been at least decently satisfying. So, yeah, I've learned from my mistakes. But yeah, Pikachu is not the worst contestant, but unfortunately his elimination is probably one of the worst in the series. And I apologize for that mess. But hey, you know, I thought I had something to go off with that hey, but I actually don't, so let's move on. Pancham. The deviations of the notebook are finally showing itself, as we have the punching bag Pancham himself, I swear to God, he just became a punching bag as the series went on, who got 10th place after Pikachu. Originally, he was going to go after Chimchar, but basic point is that Pancham had no point in the plot anymore. He would have been eliminated the next episode no matter what, but when you really look at it, Chimchar had something he could have done after what Pancham did. Pancham was done for. Pancham, the guy who tried to be a ladies' man, failed, almost got eliminated for it. He was in the bottom too every time it was an elimination until he got booted off the show. And honestly, is one of my favorites to play and one of my favorites in general. If you get past the fact that he was kind of just being a tryhard at the beginning of the series, because he was, then you can really appreciate the fact that he is honestly a really decent guy who cares about people and just is kind of desperate to get a girlfriend. There is more to his character, but it's not shown in the show because it doesn't need to be shown, people. No, you didn't need to see it. No, nothing to see here, people. His voice is kind of one of my favorites, but it always often I end up slipping into it if I'm playing a Staravia, and guess what? Staravia lasts until the finale, so you know, that's fun. The finale was me trying to make sure I didn't slip into Pancham the whole way through, I swear to God. Pancham also became a punching bag throughout the series because it was kind of just funny to give him torture. I'm not joking, that's the only reason it happened. Kind of fits his life though, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, eliminated one episode early because he didn't need to stick around after what he did, so yeah. Moving on. Also, can we talk about how pandas are adorable and how Pancham is freaking adorable? Come on guys, look at him! I don't want to do this. Can I not? Oh, it's in my contract. Screw this mess. No, we're not going to talk about her. Come on, let's go talk about Sneasel instead. Okay, fine, we'll do this. Not gonna like it, though. Alright, so Mandibuzz is straight up my least favorite character in the show. I'm sorry, but look at that drop. She went from 3rd place to 9th. She didn't even deserve 9th. You know that plot where Staravia had a crush on her and she just took him down? No, that could have ended episode sooner. Honestly, that was dragged out and I apologize for it, although it made for a great episode where 3 guys got friend-zoned, and I'm okay with that. But what is Mandibuzz? She's an athlete. She seems to be a leader. She's kind of cold. That's about it. There's not really much to her character. And her kind of dragging Staravia's character down with her did not help with my opinion of her whatsoever, because Staravia is great. So in the end, yeah, I don't like her. She's probably the only character in this cast that I would never want to work with again, because I can't work with her. I can work with Pikachu, and I thought I couldn't work with him again until I thought about it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Mandibuzz, but your section's going to be shorter than the others. Oh wait, this is 1.5 minutes long. Crap! Okay, good, we're back to actually good contestants. Sneasel! Hello, Tomboy McGee. How are you doing? Good. Also, can we talk about how I made a Tomboy pink? Yeah, that happened. Anyway, Sneasel. Sneasel is the other half of the BFF duo, and obviously, Cofferegis' love interest until he broke his heart. Literally, I can just end her section on that, and we'd be good. But she's a good character and all, through and through, and she had her moments, she had her not so moments, and and it was and it's part of the reason that Darkrai actually is a good person in the end of the series. In the end, I do like her through all these factors. She's not my favorite, she's probably in the middle of the road for me, but hey, I could work with her again if I wanted to. Give me a reason to use Jinx. But yeah, I'm glad to have her around, and I'm also kind of glad that she did what she did in the end of the series. Also, can we talk about the fact that I originally was going to have her be with Cofferegis in the first few drafts, but decided no, they shouldn't be together? Yeah, that was a thing. Let's be glad I didn't make them a thing, guys. Let's be glad. But yeah, not much to say about her. She's kind of a simple character who got far, and eventually just got eliminated at the perfect time. 8th place, first elimination of the merge. Granted, I had to put up against Musharna, and let's be real, who thought Musharna was going at that elimination? I know I didn't! Alright, let's move on. Hello, pre-merge boot. How'd you get to the merge? Hello, Chimchar. Nice to see you here. Chimchar is an interesting character, to say the least. First off, look at that jump. He jumped up 5 spots. Sweet. Second off, Chimchar was... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I originally thought of him as kind of a self-insert, but then I was smart about it, and so I stopped doing that mess. But Chimchar was more or less supposed to be the one sane contestant out of all the crazy people. He probably still is, but not to the extent that I originally had him as. He's also a model, which is kind of an important part of his character, but who gets ratted out by Duat and Pancham. Honestly, I could have written that better by not involving Pancham. Okay, maybe I could have evolved him, but either way. And a mistake that I should have rectified, and that Ninetales actually gave me the idea for. I don't know how that happened, but I should have made him an actor, because the model would have been too easy. Granted, I wanted him to be more of a nice actor, so like you don't see mean actors on these shows all the time, but no, let's have him be a model. That would have worked. That would have been fun. No, wait, did I say model and actor? I just switched them? Oh my god. No, he's an model, but he should have been an actor. That would have been fun, better. Because then there could have been the possibility where all his niceness could have been a lie the entire time. And he could have been a really jerk throughout all of this season. Really, him being an actor gives up so many possibilities. You have to it makes you wonder. But in the end, he just ended up being a model who got ratted out. Kind of hated Duat for a while, but they're on good terms now, and now they're friends. Also, he ain't getting with Fluffy people. Stop shipping it. Look, none of you were shipping that. Let's be real. Also, the person who ships Chimchar and Pikachu, stop it. Stop it. No one asked you to do this. Stop it. Alright, moving on. Musana, my shy girl who actually was executed pretty well in the end of the series. Musana is such a sweet, calming presence. You love her. She's kind of a scaredy cat, but hey, she makes up for being adorable in a way. And she's kind of the reason... Not she's kind of the reason, more like she and Darkrai both kind of jumpstart their each development together. Musana just gets bold enough to confront Darkrai about the fact that he was kind of just being a bit of a jerk and cold person, and Darkrai ends up just being friends with her because of the promise she told him that he had to make. In the end, it was kind of pretty nice seeing them both sort of develop because of each other, which, yes, led to OTP for life, Darkrai x Musana. Best ship, don't judge, and don't fight me. Also, yes, they're the only couple in this show, because I didn't want to have too many couples. There are only 16 people here. Let's calm ourselves, guys. Also, Staravia and Mandibuzz were never meant to be a couple. Let's be real. But yeah, Musana is a great character. She originally got 4th in the original 2 placements. The first time was because I don't want to talk about it, and the second time was also because I don't want to talk about it. In the end, she gets 6th place at a good spot where she is eliminated when she needs to be. Which is literally half this merge is you're eliminated right when you need to be. I ain't complaining. So yeah, love Musana to death. Moving on to the last girl in the competition. What the heck? Fluffy! AKA, her elimination made the rest of the show a sausage fest. No, I am not ashamed. Fluffy is a interesting character. Originally, she was actually supposed to be more of a mean girl, but I kind of scrapped that. And I'm glad I did. She was infatuated with Chimchar because of his good looks, but then found out he was a model and felt like... she felt like everything about him could have been a lie at that point, so she lost interest in him. But they still are good friends at the end of the day. Fluffy is a character who kind of became better over time. At first, she was, lovesick, look at her label, against, Chimchar. Then that whole mess happened, then they forgave each other, and then she played the game a little bit by acting as a double agent between Cofagrigus and Staravia and Duwats. Like, she played the game a little bit, people. Can we appreciate that? But then she got eliminated for her playing of the game because Staravia caught on to her spying ways. But in the end, she went out with her head held high and with some great friends and everyone in the final 5. Except Cofagrigus. Fluffy is in the end, I think Fluffy is a better character than she was ever meant to be in the beginning of making the series, and I'm glad for it. Also, if you're wondering how she got 8th 2 times, yeah, she was kind of a floater in the original drafts, I'm not gonna lie. But she wasn't this time, that's what got her 5th place. Again, right when she needed to be eliminated because she did not need to last any longer than 5th. Alright, moving on to the boys, who could have honestly been eliminated in any order. I'm not joking about that one. Meet the resident antagonist. Oh my god, I just realized I made a ghost antagonist. Gosh dang it. Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus is... Yeah, to put it bluntly, he's my favorite character of this series. No, I'm lying. That's a bald-faced lie, but he's one of my favorites, though. He's kind of a great antagonist when you look at him, or at least according to my boyfriend. But he's also a pretty good character at the end of the day. He started out as a nice guy because his original label was a gentleman. Yes, you can judge me on that. But he ended up just becoming a bit crazier and having more sadistic lines as the show went on. Until the end, where it's revealed he went to juvie. Yeah. And then he just shows up to be pretty kind of insane. Also, that episode of the Final 4. No, you did not see that wrong. He was framed for murder from his uncle, was put in juvie, pretty hardcore juvie for that. Saw his best friend in that Marshtomp Mudkip, it was Marshtomp, yeah, in that Marshtomp, actually get almost murdered at juvie. Yeah, there are dark implications to what Kafragus had to go through in juvie. And I didn't shy away from them for that whole episode. Ooh. And then also just had to confront his uncle again, who is, by the way, yes, is in maximum security prison and shall never appear anywhere, ever. Because I'm not that dumb. Eventually, he does finally get eliminated, slightly underwhelmingly, I will admit, when his alliance member, Starvia, kind of just flips him on the head, and then, yeah. Being real, though, if he lasted any longer, fans would have been pissed, and I would have been upset at myself. He is the only one of the Final Four who could have never won. He could have maybe made Final 3, but he could have never won. Speaking of Final 3, fan favorites, you know, the other one who isn't Ninetales, Darkrai. Also, can we talk about his label? It's the kind nightmare. It's a nightmare, but not too bad. Sums up his character pretty well, I admit. Darkrai, aka the only legendary on the show, aka the thing some people still give me crap about that isn't being about Hoppip. Yes, I know he's legendary, people. Legendary are Pokemon too. Let's actually be nice about this, people. Be civil. If you don't like him for being a legendary, that's okay. But he's still a good character regardless. And no, just because he's a legendary didn't mean I automatically wanted to make him the best character. It just happened. Darkrai is probably my favorite character, possibly tied with who someone we'll get to later on this list. But he's a great character. He starts off as kind of this loner guy who doesn't really like anybody here. But then through revealed, kind of just through more of being around the people, he kind of just shown that he's just the way he is because that's what people expect him to be, so he just gives them what they want. In the end, he ends up being a pretty good guy to most of the people around him, gets a girlfriend, and makes at least 5 friends. So I say that's pretty good in his book. Ultimately, he didn't make Final 2 because I knew people would have realized he would have made Final 2. It would have been predictable for him to win. Out of all 3 of the Final 3, that would have been the most predictable outcome. So that's why I kind of cut him then. Yes, I probably pissed off a bunch of fans while doing it, but I don't care. It's my show. But you have to admit, though, his elimination was golden. He sacrificed himself for Duat to win. Yes! That was honestly a great scene for me to write, and I'm glad I wrote it that way it did. In the end, I'm happy for Darkrai's character. He remained basically one of my favorites, if not my favorite of this show. Oh boy, was he a great joy to work with. Alright, moving on to the final 2 and our runner-up. Oh, and in the in the original working placement, he got first place probably, because he didn't return unlike Cacturn, who returned. Staravia! Staravia, aka our runner-up, aka the survivalist, aka he was kind of OP in the merge, but we don't care about that. Staravia is an interesting character who went through development that was, thank God, boosted him up in the end of the show. Because when he was around Mandibuzz, his character was kind of dead meat. But after she kind of gave him the cold shoulder, he ended up becoming a better character for it, as he showed to be a pretty smart guy, was really essential in the environment in the various islands where all they had to their name was a cabin throughout the entire series, and also the fact that he was pretty smart in his own right too, planning on kind of causing a lot of the eliminations in the merge, including Kafragus'. In the end, he's not the one who took down Darkrai, because Darkrai didn't need to be taken out by some strong force. Darkrai just went out on his own terms at that point. I bring it up because it's something that should be brought up, because Darkrai was a threat by that point. He and Duat made a pretty good final 2 in my honest opinion, and he didn't win because... I'll tell you why when I get to Duat, people. He's right next. Also, you can see he made 10th and 9th in the original version, so seeing him jump up to 2nd place was because he had massive character growth and actually a good character that led him on. He was the secondary antagonist to Kafragus being the main antagonist, but after Kafragus left, he stopped being an antagonist and he was actually more civil with the other two. In fact, the final 3 was basically them all just being friends who were also rivals. That's why it didn't seem so bad. Remember, people, you don't need an antagonist at the end game, but at that point, try to keep it spiced up. Everyone here at the final 3 were all competing and just wanted to have fun. Also, the losers were also in those 2 episodes, so that kind of made it worth it. In the end, I'm happy for what I did with Staravia, and I'm glad he made it as far as he did, and I'm glad he was one of my favorite contestants to work with. Alright, time for our winner. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our winner of Tulip Pokemon Paradise, Duat, aka the Bad Luck Charm, aka he got first originally and he got first again. I told you it happened twice. Anyway, Duat is honestly one of my favorite characters, and it's probably tied with Darkrai as my favorite. he was always a guy who just got hurt all the time, and even as it's shown later, because he's a bad luck charm, not just a person with bad luck, his bad luck affected other people too. And in fact, that's what got him the win, because his bad luck affected himself and Staravia at the same time. Also, if I never expressed the fact that his bad luck affects other people, that ending would have never made sense, because he would have lost. Although that could have been the way he could have lost. I wanted to give it a way where the way the winner or the loser could have won or lost was alternate ending kind of thing, where the scenario happened, but it could have been either or. The coin that fell out of the coin that fell out of one of their pockets, or whatever they're keeping those coins, could have been his, honestly. But nope, it was Staravia's. Also, you all saw the coin, right, in the final episode? Because I forgot to zoom in on it when I meant to zoom in on it. I'm just asking the question. Did you guys see it? Okay, good. Anyway, Duon is, again, as I said, a bad luck charm. Got hurt all the time, so he spent a lot of his time on the show in the hospital after being blown up, thrown in a volcano that should have killed him, and also being crushed by many boulders. The fact he has no broken bones or permanent damage is a miracle to anyone's guess. He joined the show in order just to win the money so his parents wouldn't have to deal, so he could actually, you know, help his parents out a bit with all the bills, even though his parents are actually pretty well off, as it turns out. Yeah, plot twist, he's actually well off. Ha ha ha, he didn't need the money for other reasons, he just needed it for the bills. In the end, I think I made a great character who who could have been a good antagonist and protagonist, and that's kind of what he was. In the pre-merge, he was more antagonistic, if only just to get farther in the game, but in post-merge, he buckled down, was clearly the brighter part of his personality, worked with Laffy, and made it to first place. Admittedly, his plans kind of went wrong just about every time after the Bushana elimination, because before then, everything was going well for him, but after that, no, nothing went his way. At all. Until he won. But I'm happy that he did win. The reason why I chose him to win over Staravia is because ultimately it's down to Mandibuzz causing it. I kid you not. Because Staravia's character wasn't really a great character at the beginning when he could have really shined through. But Duwat was consistent and kind of had his thing going throughout the entire game, and that's kind of what led me to wanting him to win more. Sorry for all you Staravia fans, but for some reason people wanted Duwat to win more, like they forgot he existed at Final Four. I don't get that. But I'm happy no matter what. And yeah, this just kind of reminds me that, oh yeah, he did win against Ninetales originally. Now look at he won against an actual bigger threat. Alright, that's it with the characters. If you want me to rank my favorite to least favorite, I'm not doing that. I don't got time for that mess, guys. We got more to talk about. Because now we need to talk about the pre-merge and the post-merge. Let's go! Alright, so now it's time to talk about the pre-merge and post-merge. I won't be here for long. This is going to be a short segment. Let's keep going. Pre-merge is a hot mess. Need I say more? I do? Oh. It was a hot mess with a lot of issues. Okay, I'll be serious. Honestly, the pre-merge is a mess, as I've been saying. A lot of eliminations were not the best. Pikachu, I'm looking at you. And a lot of the challenges were not the best either. Episode 4 was when I kind of got in my groove, but Episode 3 tanked that, and Episode 8 brought me back. I'd say 7, but 7 was just step up. Okay. 7 was just me trying to get back into it. 8 was me getting back into it. Now, for the merge, though, the merge was great. Yes, the first 4 or 5 eliminations of the merge, Coffee is argumental, they were all safe eliminations. Sneasel, her time to go, she had nothing left to do. Chimchar, his time to go, nothing left to do. Mushana, could have been a floater if I didn't get rid of her then. Flaffy, same thing maybe? Coffee he really could not win, so what was the point of keeping him going further? But really, I like the merge. The story of the merge at that point was pretty good for me, and it was kind of going in a good direction that I liked, and it ended off with me having some great moments, some great kisses. I see you, Darkrai Mushana OTP. And also just some great eliminations and character development all around. And I'm happy that I did what I did. Now, can we talk about my favorite episodes? I'll name 3. Different segments. The last 3 episodes of Paradise were great. Honestly, they're some of my favorites. But since I said 3 segments, I'm allowed to list 2 more episodes, right? No? Well, too bad. It's my show and my video. I can do what I want. Episode 4 is a place that will have a part of my heart because of what I did with it. Because it was really me stepping up my game. And yes, I know Jinx was kind of a predictable elimination, but hey, that's like the one bad thing about that episode, so like, let's ignore that. And I had one more episode that I wanted to say, but what was it? I forget now. Probably not that important. Nope, can't think about it. Okay, moving on. Episode, and for my least favorite episodes, because it's only fair, episode 6 can die in a fire, episode 3 can jump along with it, and episode 7 is iffy for me. Yeah, I like all merge episodes. Fight me. So yeah, my final thoughts on the project? I'm glad. I'm glad I did this. Because my old TBI series on my old channel is a hotter mess than the pre-merge of this show. But in the end, I think I made a show that I really liked. And obviously people like it too, if my comments and stuff aren't to account for anything. And I'm really happy that I made this series in the end of the day. This was really great, and I'm glad I got to do this. This is a really good hobby for me, and I'm glad I had to have fun with it. Plus now I know that I can actually make decently good plots. When I want to. But do I want to? Who knows? But yeah, I'm happy I did this in the end of the day. Alright, now this is what we gotta talk about in this video, because we're gonna make this an update video now. Wait, would it count as an update video? Whatever. Let's just move on. Alright, now we need to look into the future. Yes, that future. So, what do I have in store for this channel or for my life? Well, I had videos I wanted to make about talking about TPI subjects, but those are still work in progresses, so I'll come back to them when I ever come back to them. I'm never going to be let up about that mess. Also, this is kind of a thing I might talk about in the future, but I am planning on making another TPI. I'm planning on kind of rebooting this reboot of Reboot. Yes, I did just say reboot so many times. As a collaborative effort with a friend of mine, if you're wondering what I'm talking... It's not going to be on a video form, it's actually going to be on fanfiction.net form. I might make an update about that when it comes around, because the guy needs to finish watching the show. You know who you are. Actually finish this, or I will tie you down to chains! Yeah, I'm getting kind of impatient with him at this point, but you know, we're good friends, I don't care. I just want him to finish it, because he won't get the characters otherwise. But yeah, no, we'll talk about that more when we get there. Don't worry, people. But if you have questions, ask in the comments. I'm always here to answer them. Unless I don't want to answer them, but most likely than not, I'm going to answer them. But for this channel, though, that isn't just in my other accounts on the internet, we have to talk about something very important. Will there be a Season 2? And I can say, yes. Paradise will have a second season. We're going to get some new characters, we're going to get some old characters, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Season 2 is happening, and I have made a lovely trailer to show you that Season 2 is happening. Please watch it. Please. Here we go. Did you enjoy that? I hope so, because that took a lot of time to make. But yep, as it says in the video, the second season will be called Total Pokemon Poke-Earth. If you cannot figure out what that means, then I am sorry for you. But I'll tell you anyway, because I'm such a nice guy. It will be a series about basically World Tour, but in all Pokemon locations. So probably you're never seeing any real world locations unless for some reason I decide to do that. But we'll see what happens. And as I said before, there will be old characters and there will be new characters. But after a bit of debate about this, I've decided not to reveal anything. I was going to at one point, but I'm literally re-recording this part of the video. So yeah, Total Pokemon Poke-Earth will air soon. I have the first episode animated, I just have to voice and stuff, and I also want to work on future episodes, so I am prepared. But be excited, or not. Speculate who you want to see in the comments, because there was a poll for a reason, people. Let's speak out about what's going to happen here. And that's about it for me and for this video. So I thank you all for watching this video. I'm glad you all stuck with me with making this train wreck of a season. And I hope you all have a wonderful day as you wait for the anticipation of Total Pokemon Poke Earth. I will see you then. Laters!